Good evening, friends. Meteorologist Delaney Willis here with an update on a mess of precipitation we are expecting over the next couple of hours. A quick rundown of what we're looking at tonight. Rainfall for most of the area, but there will be potential ice into the highland zones, of course, and as we head in the next couple of hours this evening and in the day on Thursday, this is going to be a very short-lived event. We will dry things out late on Thursday, see some warmer temperatures on the horizon as well, which is very welcome, especially after today. Winter weather alerts that are in place right now. We do have a winter weather advisory in effect for Allegheny, Bath, as well as Highland and Rockbridge counties. That is expire at 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. Now this deep purple right here, this ice storm warning, that is in effect for both Greenbrier and Pocahontas counties where there is a larger accumulation of ice expected, more of that flat ice that's kind of I'm trying to think of the best way to describe it, but the qualification that the Weather Service has for these watches and the warning, kind of these tripwires that they have, if it meets a certain criteria, that's that kind of that flat ice measurement. So something to watch out for these next couple of hours. Stay off the roadways if you can, if you are included in these counties, especially with this icy potential that we have into the evening hours tonight. Now, radar right now is still clear for the majority of the area, but we will see this precip moving in a little bit later on tonight, and that will change things up pretty drastically. And of course, national radar showing the same thing, but this is the system we're watching right here, where you'll see over these past few hours that mixed precip, that swath of purple right there, that is headed our way in parts of that area as well. Temperatures right now, 30s and 40s across the board. We have been fairly seasonable today. 43 now in Roanoke and Alta Vista, 44 South Boston, 30 in Hot Springs, 45 in Wytheville, as well as Martinsville. So pay attention. These numbers right here, 30s, 40s. But once we compare this to where we were this time yesterday, these numbers were about 18 degrees colder now than we were this time yesterday evening in Roanoke. 10-degree difference in Wytheville and Hot Springs. Danville, still seeing that 16-degree difference tonight. It is definitely a little bit colder than what we were dealing with this time yesterday when we hit 70 degrees for most of Southside, and we even hit that in Roanoke for the afternoon hours. We still have this temperature setup that will continue tomorrow for this warmer pattern. Still seeing that subtropical jet stream that's still moving a little bit further north. And we will have the opportunity for record-breaking warmth. Further on the south here locally, we're probably not going to be setting any records. However, it will be warmer, at least in comparison to today, which is going to feel very, very nice. Over the next couple of hours, this is the timeline we are looking at. For your Thursday morning, we will still see that rainfall in the area, and that will gradually clear out throughout the afternoon and evening hours. And by Thursday night, most of us will be staying pretty dry. And I will also point out, tomorrow afternoon in the south side zone, we could also hear just a few rumbles of thunder when these move through. Let's time this out on Futurecast hour by hour. Tonight, of course, the cloud cover will continue to increase across the region. By 10 o'clock, northern Virginia and parts of central Virginia starting to see some of that mixed precip in the region, and that will continue. You'll notice all of that mixing, especially into those highland zones. Here locally, I think this model overdoing it just a touch. I'm not sure we're going to be seeing quite as much in terms of that wintry mix, but rainfall across the board for our viewing area, that will continue into very early Thursday morning. And we will still see that rainfall just throughout the day on Thursday for the morning hours, gradually clearing out throughout the later afternoon and evening, of course. Rain chances for the next couple of days. We've been talking about a very active pattern, and this is illustrating it perfectly. We'll get a break from the rainfall on Friday, but after that, we'll resume for the weekend and next work week. Of course, we are watching not just the potential for rainfall, but because of these temperatures, the potential for wintry mix as well for next week. So something to keep an eye out for. Let's get through the end of this week first, but just know that is on our radar as well. 10 to 10 forecast this evening. Of course, we will be cloudy, seeing that rainfall throughout the overnight hours, that mixed precip, of course, in the highland zone, with temperatures in the mid and upper 30s because of the cloud cover that will be in place, trapping in all that radiation that we got during the daytime, of course. Now, tomorrow, these numbers looking pretty nice. Your zone by zone forecast for your high temperatures. Of course, we will be back in the 60s, 61 for the New River Valley, 60 for Highlands, 61 in Roanoke, 64 for Lynchburg, and 67 degrees for the South Side zone. And of course, that's why we're seeing that potential for a few rumbles of thunder in South Side. We get the warm temperatures to support it. So let's break down this 7-day forecast. 60s Thursday, Friday, and we'll dip down into the 40s briefly Saturday, 40s, 50s, and we are sliding down that scale into next work week as we have the potential for that wintry mix on the horizon now. I wanted to point out tonight is a very, very low impact event. Of course, those counties highlighted in that winter weather advisory in the Highland zone have the potential for some icing, but into Pocahontas and Greenbrier counties in West Virginia, where that ice storm warning is, of course, take precautions in those regions. That is going to be an impactful event. But for the remainder of the advisories, could still see some ice, so still stay off the roadways as best possible. But for the majority of our viewing area, for all other 4 zones, this is not going to be impacting us by any means. We will just see some rain showers throughout the area, more of a cold rain, at least tonight, but tomorrow we are, as you notice, warming things back up again. So that is the story. Temperature roller coaster on the horizon, 60s, 40s, 50s, and 30s. And of course, we are still watching next work week, starting things off Monday through Wednesday. Those are the 3 days where we have that potential for the wintry mix on the horizon. So stay warm tonight and enjoy the nice warm rain-ish temperatures tomorrow, friends. And we will be keeping an eye, of course, on next work week. Have a good night.